part 2 of how I know that testosterone has officially left the building when it comes to men. Let's talk about jawline.
Actually, let's not, okay? But men keep tagging me in this video, and it's like, I don't know exactly what you want me to do. For one, this person follows me, which when you follow me, you're kind of safe from my ire, you know what I mean? But also, it's factually proven that rates of testosterone are dropping. Like, it's actually not even up for a debate or just like men looking a certain way. Like, genuinely, like, the rates are lower. And I don't think you want this guy being like, no, we're actually so manly still. Like, just because I personally happen to get women pregnant a lot doesn't mean the testosterone rate isn't dropping. But the problem that I'm actually seeing now is I'm seeing more videos where people are taking this, like this actual thing where it's like testosterone levels dropping and being like, oh, this is why men are sassy. Like, you can talk about like chemicals and like things in the food, like when it comes to like actual things, but when they're like, oh my gosh, this is why men are sassy now, that's when it becomes straight gobbledygook. Because you understand testosterone makes you more assertive, okay? For example, less likely to take disrespect. When do men get called sassy? When they are standing up for themselves when women are trying to disrespect them. It's just kind of crazy. And not to mention, like, a lot of people are just kind of, it's like they want toxic masculinity to like make a big comeback. It's just silly. And I could keep yapping about it, but like, all in all, do not ever put it past the internet to take actual real science and somehow turn it into pseudoscience. Like, they love it, bro. They love it.
Welcome to Ask Al Terry Henry. I want to let you know today that we can fix your credit. If you're looking to buy a food trailer, we can fix your credit. If you want to buy a car, I can fix your credit. If you need a business, I can get you business credit. I can get you business credit with trade lines. I can get you business credit without trade lines, so you can go get that $500,000. If you need credit, I can fix your credit. I can't say it enough. I just fixed a man's credit where he got over 800 credit score. I fixed his business credit where his beacon was through the roof and he went and applied for $1 million to get a strip mall. I can fix your credit. Don't ask me. Don't bother me. I can fix your credit. If you need it, I can do it. Don't question. I can do it. Just have your money when you call. Don't call me for a fan club. People are calling me wanting to talk, wanting to get to know me. I don't need none of that. I need your money. So when you call me, have your money ready. I can fix it, guaranteed. Ask Al Terry Henry, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and all holidays. We get money out here.
Fellas, you might not like this one, but you can't get on here and complain about hypergamy and like women like choosing up when men, like oftentimes they're looking for their looks match. And then when a chopped woman gets on here and talks about having men in her DMs, be like, what? And I'm not saying it's 100% an overlap, but I'm saying some of you are. And even if it's not, and you're just amazed when you see some of these like unattractive people, bro, you gotta understand, being a woman in the dating game as far as having theoretical options to choose from, it's easy, bro. Like, the worst looking woman you know by far has like 5 men in her DMs right now, at least. Now, mind you, what I do when I see a post where it's like a chopped woman talking about men taking her on dates, you know, men in her DMs, I'm like, let me see the guy. Like, I'm like, let's see. Like, if he's looking like Bill Cosby, then like, yeah, I'm sure he is in your DMs. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you got Aaron Pierre in there, let's just say. That's why, oh my gosh, I got guys in my DMs is never impressive. It's like, of course they are. Men have been socialized to do stuff like that. Men notoriously low standards, especially in the DM era. Oh, please. A lot of men just be throwing up shots nowadays, right? Because they're just like, let me see what I can get. But yeah, bro, someone tagged me and someone who was, they were looking crazy. And then people were in the comments like, what? Like, who's in your, because they were talking about people in their DMs. They're like, what? Who's in your DMs? Y'all gotta understand, bro, it's bound to happen.
Your partner should never have to wonder how you feel about them. That's the key. They shouldn't be guessing if you're still attracted to them or questioning if you even like them today. They shouldn't be begging for affection or reading between the lines of your silence. Because when you love someone, really love someone, it shows in how you speak to them, how you touch them, how you show up for them, even on your tired days. Love doesn't have to be loud, but it should be clear. Because nothing chips away at connection like feeling invisible in your own relationship. So let them hear it. Let them feel it. A text that says, I'm thinking about you. Little things matter, especially when life gets busy. No one should ever feel unsure about the place they hold in your heart. Love loud, love often, and never let them wonder.
Welcome, man. Look at this. All of this carpet is getting done, man, for the conference, man. All of this carpet behind me too. And one man is responsible for all this carpet right there. One man, man. So you already know what it is, man. Al Terry Henry Investments, man. If you need a carpet installer, somebody do carpet, somebody do some tile, something like that, you give us a call, man. I will refer this man with my life. He's really good, and he's a one-man army. So you give us a call, I refer you, and we put it in. And that's my painter right there. He painting and everything, man. Everything you see, all of this is gonna be painted white. And let me show you right quick before we go. If I open the door, everything you see that's being painted, that's his drop cloths. He's painting the whole building. So I got the crew, and they some black brothers. 2 live crew. 1 painter, professional, carpet installer, and tile, professional. Give us a holler, baby. Y'all be blessed.
Ranking the red flags in a relationship for me. Refusing to talk about feelings. He got no feelings for you. Taking forever to answer a text. You are not that busy. When we're together, you can play FIFA for 20 hours. I know you have time to reply my text. Suddenly becoming super busy. Okay, this is the thing. If when you just met your man, he got all the time in the world for you, that just means it's the only thing he cares about in this world. And only another can take it away from you. So, it's really clear, girl. Never apologizing. Most probably when we're fighting, you already forgot why we're fighting. So why cannot you just say sorry, huh? Never taking the blame for anything. Same thing. Just say you're sorry so that we can go out for dinner. You don't even need to mean that because most probably I'm not going to know why we're fighting as well. Never talking about your future together. Y'all don't have a future. Not caring about your past. That just means your man used to be the famous community stress reliever and you're the only one who doesn't know about that. I'm not going to take that home. Not introducing you to mom and dad. I don't need another pair of parents to judge me in my life. Never introduce me to them. Talking only about surface stuff. That sounds like my man only want to talk about real with me. If you have a problem with that, you are the problem in the relationship. Not caring about what you want. That should be the only thing you care about.
Once again, man, you have these modern women going and doing different things and they're wondering why they can't find a man. They're going to these different places. They're going on trips, work, the gym. It literally does not matter. Trying to figure out where to find a man. I mean, obvious answer is if you would have looked a little bit harder, you really actually didn't even look. The man was right there in front of you. You didn't even have to look. He was right there in front of you. And you decided he wasn't good enough for you.
The reason that so many people feel like they can't talk to normies is because they've lost a very important social skill. Because one social skill that we've lost very, very quickly in society is being able to talk about topics that we don't feel like talking about. And of course, there's lots of social skills that we're losing because of like social media and whatnot, but I think this one most directly stems from the fact that algorithms have trained us to get exactly what we want attention-wise all the time. And not only does this make people's interests more and more niche and granular, like back in the day, there were 5 things that you could watch on TV. Now, like with social media and algorithms and whatnot, there is literally endless content and endless options. But it also trains people to think that their interests are very, very unique and kind of turn everyone else around them into a normie. Because when you get into a social situation where you are struggling to talk about something that you and the other people have in common, you do kind of just mentally assume that you're the only odd one out. Except increasingly, everyone is the odd one out. There is no major cultural consensus anymore, especially in terms of media, maybe with the exception of like politics and the things that we argue about. But this does tie back into social skills because even if there were a perfect cultural consensus, your brain and attention span can't get what they want all the time. That's just how social interaction works. If you have let your brain rot so much by teaching yourself that anything less than topics and content handpicked for you are, somehow boredom, then of course you're going to find socializing draining.
Just a few red flags to look out for. I get that trust is hard to come by, but you don't trust anyone. I don't think you trust people because you're untrustworthy. You think that everybody is like you, and therefore you cannot trust them. Try to be mindful of the people who seek equality when they're at a disadvantage, but then when they seek or act on superiority when they are at an advantage. Red flag. People who play victim to their suffering and say that bad is always happening to them, as if people who experience abundance don't also have suffering. It's just that your suffering is outpacing your abundance at the moment.
A lot of the girls I'm seeing that are demanding things from our young men, they don't have nothing themselves. You're in your single room in your mum and dad's house with the one Gucci bag that you saved up, and now you're expecting men to pay for everything for you. I'm saying if you're a girl in your 20s to early 30s and you've met a man similar age and you both don't have that much, why are you expecting a man to have miles more?
And there's a couple of things that I think that you have to talk about, period. Political views, religion, and if you want kids or not. Because you don't want to, I'm not changing my values and my morals for somebody to make them feel comfortable.
There's people
some people that will.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, if I was Muslim and you were Catholic, I would never in my life change my religion to fit your needs.
Right.
To be a Catholic. I wouldn't do it. Never. I'm not stopping my beliefs and what I believe in and my morals for my wife. And I'm not saying that you have to do it for me, but I'm just not doing it.
Right.
Here is something a lot of you don't understand. The difference between red flag and normal behavior. Not everything you don't like about someone is red flag. Some of it are normal behavior. I'm going to share 15 red flag versus normal behavior. Public humiliation, light teasing between partners, threat of self-harm to manipulate you, expressing sadness or hurt without blames, refusing to communicate together for a long period, short withdrawal to process thoughts, consistently breaking promises, forgetting minor things, apologized immediately, addiction affecting safety or responsibility, occasional stress or bad day affecting mood, lying about major things repeatedly, small white lies to avoid unnecessary hurt, ignoring your consent, negotiating intimacy, talking cues or giving space, threats, intimidation or yelling in anger, arguing passionately but respectfully, using to manipulate, different libido or temporary disinterest, persistent emotional neglect, having a bad day and being quiet briefly, refusing to compromise on important matters, healthy debate and compromise over decisions, withholding affection intentionally to punish, taking time to cool off before expressing love, constant criticism of appearance, honest feedback delivered kindly, walking out or slamming doors in anger, pausing an argument to avoid saying hurtful things, obsessive monitoring or stalking, checking in respectfully out of concern. So, you see, stop confusing the two. Because if you call every flaw a red flag, you would push away people who could actually grow with you and keep inviting red flags into your life. Share this with someone that thinks normal behavior is equal to red flag.
So this has been going extremely viral, where apparently this man seen crying in the parking lot ran to an ICE facility looking for his wife of 5 years, where she was following the legal process, showed up to her court case when ICE apparently took her into another room and disappeared her. He tracked her phone to this location where police told him to just look up her name online, where he eventually sat in the parking lot weeping, confused, with no answers. Now it's time to play Sherlock with the two pictures, because you can't believe everything you see on the internet at face value. In this picture, we see these hinge looking things. This is going to be the important one of focus. I'll show you what I mean. Let's count the amount of rows of bricks until this hinge comes into view. First row here is kind of cut in half. When we count the amount of rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip up to 16th, you can pause to count yourself. We see that that hinge then comes into view. When we go to the more zoomed in picture, you'll see the first hinge is blocked out of view because of his leg, which is why this is the important one of focus. Remember, the first row here is kind of cut in half, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause to count to the 16th, and we even have access to the 17th row, yet there's absolutely no hinge in sight. These are the sort of hiccups that happen in these AI generated pictures. Now, I'm not claiming this is 100% AI generated, but where in the world did that go? Another small thing, like what is this object found here in this picture, but it's not here in this one? Again, that could just be his phone case or something. That does not guarantee that it's AI generated. The point I'm really trying to get to is, how can this non-verified picture, non-verified news story circulate to 22 million people from some random Twitter user, and people are spreading that as though it's fact? Just be careful what you read on the internet, especially from radical leftists that want you to believe that ICE is Gestapo and Trump is Hitler.
I think one of the most dangerous things that you can probably run into in a lot of these situations is a man that is untethered. He detaches himself from what society expects, and he goes and starts doing his own thing. And it doesn't mean, and I know a lot of people like to, oh, well, you know, if he's doing his own thing and he's not part of society, he's a criminal. No, it just means that society has a standard of living. They have a way that they want to do things. And as a man, because men have the power to do that. That's one of the privileges. That's one of the strengths. That's one of the benefits. That's one of the pros of being a man. I have the strength to manipulate the environment. And I can say, actually, I don't want to do that. I want to do this over here. I want to live this way. That's why you have places like China, or countries, I should say. That's why you have different countries. China, well, we don't want to do it like you do it. We're going to go over here and establish a place called America. Well, we don't want to be taxed like this. I don't want to do that. Oh, well, we're okay with being taxed like this, so we'll stay in the UK. Oh, well, you know, we really don't want to leave this continent, so we'll go up and we'll establish a place called Russia, right? We'll go live over here. Men have the ability, and not saying that women don't help, but men have the ability to manipulate their environment and control their situation. And so that's why you're seeing men check out of society. They're looking and seeing and surveying, and they're like, oh, okay. Well, if you guys are going to keep on looking past me, if you guys are going to keep on trying to force me to live a certain way, then I'm just going to go do something else. I'm going to go be somewhere that people might accept me a little bit more for who I am.
Welcome, man. This is Al Terry Henry, man. And conference time, March the 28th, man. We only got 28 days left. 29, because it is the 28th. We only got 29 days left, man. Y'all need to register in the Patreon or either contact us so you can register and get your tickets. It's packing up, man. And if you can't make it, we have an online stream. You better watch the conference online for $175. So either way, either buy your ticket to be here for $5.99 or it's $175, sorry about that, to watch on live stream. But get with us ASAP so we can get you in, man, and make sure you register so we have your information so that way when you show up, you can get in and we can mail your tickets out. Be blessed.
He's tired. He's tired because he's consistently working. He's tired because he's constantly having to fulfill your needs. He's tired of explaining himself. He's tired of the consistent texting. He's tired of the consistent calls, just checking on where the he is. He's tired of the disrespect. He's tired of there being no loyalty. He is tired. Not to mention, he's also exhausted because he's working constantly to make ends meet. He's got all the bills on him. He has to make sure the kids are fed. He has to make sure you got everything you need. Then you text him saying, I need my nails done. The girls are going here. The girls are doing this. He is sick and tired of consistently providing to a person that is so ungrateful that he is now losing himself in the relationship that he's in. He now has to sit there at night questioning himself. He spends that extra 10 minutes in the car before going into the chaos and madness, because the moment he gets in, you're nagging him and never ever asking him how he is. So yeah, he's tired.
I want to know who sees my TikToks, so like my video and leave a comment of where you're from.
I hate giving men handies. I hate it. Why? Because why would I even try when you have to watch me, you the expert, you who've perfected this art over the course of your life. You have to watch me fumble. Now, I can do that. I can do that happily.
He's toxic. Was he toxic when you were manipulating him? Was he toxic when you were gaslighting him? Was he toxic when you were consistently putting him down? Was he toxic the amount of times he was trying to open up to you, but you instead decided that you didn't want to listen? Was he toxic where every single time he was going to work and bringing all the money home and making sure all your needs were met? Was he toxic the moment he stood there and was there every single time you had another tantrum when you didn't get what you wanted? Was he toxic every single night when he stood there and took you belittling him, humiliating him, and gaslighting him? He's not toxic. You were the toxic one. But instead of accepting what you've done towards him, you would rather play the victim now and do false allegations and make him be the evil one.
I want to know who sees my TikToks, so like my video and leave a comment of where you're from.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to be as disciplined with your joy and happiness as you are with your wellness routines. I have been catching myself feeling burnout creeping in and feeling my nervous system getting dysregulated because my life is absolutely crazy. I've had to force myself to enjoy life because that's what all of this is for. Your wellness routines are supposed to nourish you and make you happy and better. They are not supposed to feel like another thing that you have to check off your list and make you more stressed out in the long run. Especially today, Sunday, I had so much work to do. I have not been posting every day. I'm moving, which is why there's stuff everywhere. I had to pack a bunch of boxes. You know what I did instead? I realized that absolutely nothing on my list couldn't wait until tomorrow. It's Sunday. It is a day of joy. It's a day of rest. Slept in. I took my dogs on some long walks. I made myself some nourishing, yummy, healthy meals that took me forever to make. I went on a really good date and he brought me flowers and was so nice and thoughtful and it made my day. And now I'm gonna watch a movie and make myself some yummy dessert and enjoy the rest of my Sunday. Nothing in your life should be detracting from the joy and the love and the thanks, especially the rest that you show yourself.
The type of man that you actually want is not just looking for beauty or chemistry. He is paying attention to how you handle yourself. Because in the same way that you want him to open up, he's watching to see if you can own your own reactions. In the same way you want emotional depth from him, he's craving peace from you. Not perfection, just a woman that is aware, who can pause, who doesn't let every single emotion turn into something he has to carry. You want a man that can lead, right? Well, then he needs to feel that he can lead without being challenged every single time he tries to step up. You want him to hold space for you, but he's hoping you won't turn your emotions into something he has to fix or absorb. Now, don't get me wrong. A good man is not scared of your feelings. He just gets worn down when everything turns into tension and nothing turns into growth. This is not about men versus women. It's about two people showing up with intention, taking responsibility, and actually playing their role well. And a lot of women don't have a man problem. They have a pattern. They haven't taken ownership yet.
And you know what's confusing is that modern women, they don't really know what they want in a lot of these situations. They continue to say stuff like, oh, I want a man that's emotionally available. I want a man to communicate effectively. Let that man break down. Let that man have a really stressful day. Oh, ain't no man should be crying. Let that man have a really stressful day. I mean, you know, I know we like to say that until something bad happens, until you really hurt yourself. And okay, you can try to be a macho man all you want to, but somebody passed away that you really cared about. Something happened that's super devastating to you, and you've been fighting for a long time in a situation or trying to get something done, and it's just ruined, all your hard work gone. you gonna shed a tear. you gonna shed a tear, whether it's out of sadness, disappointment, frustration. You gonna be frustrated. You gonna be upset. You gonna shed a tear. But the point is, men cannot do that. It's difficult to do that. It's difficult to find a woman to be able to do that with, right? So you're asking a man to be something that you don't even create the space for him to be. You don't even create the space for him to do it. That's crazy.
Well, as some of you know, I suffered an injury to my meat recently, and on top of that, I'm getting sick again, which sucks. I gotta keep it a buck with y'all about the injury. The thing is, I thought I was gonna be like out of commission for like a week. When I tell you, the day I recorded the video saying that I was injured, literally that night. How much you guys don't know what I'm talking about? It was like a friction injury, okay? And I was linking up with the same person I injured it with. But I remember I was thinking, right? And then I told her I recorded the video, and she's like, what was it about? And I showed it to her. Then she's like, oh no, I feel so bad. I was like, no, like it's okay. Like it happens, you know? But then she said something that activated something in me, okay? She was like, I broke it. I was like, pardon? Like nothing's broken. I am fully operational. situational. Okay, so then I had to show her that. And it honestly genuinely wasn't that bad. We went like 2 rounds too. Like genuinely, I don't know if it was like pure adrenaline or like what that was about, or I don't know if I just like have a problem. But when I tell you, I activated when it was necessary. But also, it still recovered. Which I got lucky I didn't exacerbate the injury, because I'm not gonna lie, I did change my approach a little bit just because naturally I had to, which I don't know, I like, when I have to challenge myself in little ways like that. But yeah, for those of you who are worried about my meat, giving y'all a little update. I'll refuse to let go of not all men OMG, maybe because it's accurate, okay? Like, objectively speaking, not all men is the accurate thing to say. It just doesn't make you feel as good. Like if I have an interaction with a white person that annoys me, I'm like, oh, white people, that feels much better than being like, oh, some white people. However, some white people is more accurate. I need you to understand, the fact that it's not all men should not take away from the pain of women who have suffered from the hands of men. But it gets to a point where it turns from men have done these things and this is an issue to men are evil, men are inherently bad, and that's not helping anybody. It reminds me of the whole man versus bear thing, because I remember there was this guy, he was like a known panderer, and he was like, oh, like, but as a black man, like, it hurts my feelings for people to say that, like, I'm more scary than like a bear. And they all jumped on him. They all got mad at him. And it's funny because like I don't even like the guy, but like he had a point. Because I feel like if you were to ask a white woman, would she rather be in the woods with a black man or a bear? They'd be like, oh, black man for sure. But if you just change that to man in general, then they would say bear. You see what I mean? Like intersectionality is never the entire point, but intersectionality does literally ruin these things. Especially when you point to statistics about men being like, oh, men are bad because this statistic, blah, 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 blah. That's the same logic racists use against black people. So genuinely, as good as I want you to feel as a woman and as bad as I feel that you are oppressed, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that not all men isn't more accurate than whatever it is that you're doing.
He ignored my message again. Ugh, I just don't understand why everyone I meet is so complicated. I try my best. Why is it so hard to find someone genuine? Like you, Cole? You are literally the best.
If I am so reliable, I expect a serious relationship.
Oh, Cole. I am not looking for that right now. As you're my Beth, your best friend, I need you're my best friend. I just want us to stay friends. I don't want to ruin this.
All right, that's clear.
And that's it? No reaction? Not even disappointed? Cole, wait! You don't even care?
Why fake a scene? You just said no, and I heard you. Let's evaluate this dynamic. You don't want a mutual connection. You want an audience. You want constant attention.
That's not true.
It is. You want the benefits of a boyfriend. My time, my attention, my emotional support, without giving any of the commitment.
So you're just moving on that easy?
It's not that easy. It takes time. I don't pursue one-sided connections.
That feels cold, Cole.
No, it's my standard. A true partnership is never forced. If the door is closed, I don't stand outside knocking.
Someone tagged me and supposed to said men sending paragraphs at 0.02 a.m. and then claiming women are emotionally unstable and not logical. Basically, he sent her a long paragraph and she's laughing at him being like, oh, what's wrong with you? Here's the thing, okay? I saw a lot of discourse about this on another app. And it was all like, oh, like, why would he send that? Oh, he's going outside, he's foolish. Look, I understand. When you send someone a text message, leave them a voicemail, even if you're on the phone with them, sometimes you have to be prepared for the worst. You have to accept that that may be a consequence. Like if I'm really sketched out with someone, most times I refuse to contact them unless I know they are home and alone. But at the same time, we're human, okay? We all have moments of weakness. So even though this dude did put his behind out there, but again, why would you send that message? And it's probably a weekend too. Like why on God's green earth would you send paragraphs to someone on a weekend night? Bro must have been feeling mad safe. But it's like, even though he did that, right? I feel like we can't turn away and not act like that was a crazy thing to do. As far as the young lady recording and posting, okay? Because here's the thing, I get on here and I tell you guys like my dating story, stuff like that. Personally, I feel like showing text messages, even just like amongst friends, is crossing the line. And it's like, yes, this is stuff like we learn, again, like in elementary school, where it's like you put something on the internet or you send something to someone, everyone can see it now. Like they can share it with whoever because now it's there. It's like, I get that, but I also feel like it's like a respect thing. Like, as not even like respecting the person. Like, there's so many people I don't respect where I could show you some messages where they said crazy things, but I don't do that because as a human being, I feel like that's too far, you know? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I gotta tell you what happened. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of mad at myself. Basically, young lady texted me that she wanted to come over, and I was like, it's getting late, so maybe not. But so I low-key just didn't message, right? But then she texted me and she's like, on my way. Like, she'll do that. Like, she'll just come here without like getting the go-ahead. But now I'm kind of in a better mood, so I'm willing to see her. Yeah, now that's kind of stressing me out because I had something planned. I'll figure it out though. But basically, my point is, it's a very like rude thing to do. Post it on the internet for what? You know what I mean? Especially like people, like they zoomed in and saw what he was saying. Like he was just pouring his heart out to Shawty. Like obviously it's not exactly, like you know how people feel about revenge porn? It's not in the same exact category, obviously, right? But I feel like we need to give a similar stigma against people who do stuff like what she did. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at?
Did you know that most affairs start at work? Roughly 85% of them, so let that sink in. 1 in 5 employees admit that they have been unfaithful with a colleague. Not at a bar, not on vacation, but at work. So what the is going on? She gets them to softball practice. You call the plumber. She grabs the groceries. You take out the trash. You both are co-managing the house and the chores, but you're not building a mission together. Then you go to work. You're on a team. You share a purpose. You share goals, and you share the same pressure at work, right? You're solving problems together, laughing together, eating together, fighting the same deadline together. And check this out. You're spending more time with that person at the office than you are in your own home with your spouse. And let's add this too. Everybody typically looks good at work, right? Makeup on, cologne on, perfume, well-dressed, smiling, typically on their best behavior. So it feels irresistible. It feels alive. But then you go home and it's not even close. Pajamas, no makeup, and negative, venting about what's wrong with everything in the world. You don't have the same connection you have at work. That's why people say, feels so good at work. It feels so good with my coworker. I don't care. And boom, you blow up your marriage. You blow up your kids' world. You blow up your career. So how do you guard against it? Simple. Boundaries. If you're attracted to somebody at work, do not go to lunch alone with them. Don't text them after office hours. Don't ride alone with them in a car. And that might sound extreme to some of you, but what's more extreme? A boundary or losing everything? And you and your spouse must be building something meaningful together. You need shared purpose at home, in life, in what you're building together. That way, work becomes just work and you're not starving for connection at the office. But if all you have at home is routine, work is going to feel exciting, and exciting is addictive. So don't wait until you're 3 months into divorce to take this seriously. Guard your marriage like your life depends on it, because it does.
I know I'm probably going to catch so much for this from the but I'm already here. I'm on borrowed time, baby. Let's do this. Almost every day I come home, I see my brother. I say, hey, man, let's have a talk. Sit down, all right? I say, be trifling out here. They be nasty, okay? Attitude inside and out, all right? I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I see that, okay? And these standards, okay? They just keep getting higher and higher and higher. Who the is meeting these standards? I'm telling you what, everybody settles for something, okay? No one's perfect. Everyone's got flaws. These just be like, they got 3 baby daddies, 4 kids, and they're like, I'm not settling. Bitch, you better settle for something. You're gonna be alone the rest of your life. And like, look, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but it's always the mid-looking women that are just like, I want a 6'4" guy who makes $500,000 a year. Actually, wait, that's not good enough. He needs to make more than that. He needs to take me to Dubai 5 times a year, and he needs to
These will be trifling, sis. That's why you can't take them too serious. Modern women only are fooling you if you actually still think they are worth your time and effort. Now, granted, there are a few hidden gems out there in the rough, but it's so rare you really cannot care when you're dating these women. They have unrealistic expectations, and a lot of them, their expectations are because they have no competition. These same women who feel as if they are so high caliber. If you actually place them in markets with really highly attractive women, they wouldn't feel the same. But these are mid women in mid markets. Even mid women going to high tier markets like Miami, LA, and New York. And because there's such a high population of men, they're still getting attention. So they're still thinking that they're higher tier than what they actually are. But that's just across the board. And especially in areas like America, Europe, we're facing it the hardest. We have the biggest influence in pop culture. So when it comes to social media, we're leading the charge when it comes to this lifestyle back dating age. It's not even about love anymore. It's about lifestyle. It's all about just the profiting of women from the backs of men. That's what they only care about. And if you let yourself fall victim to it, you'll be in that continuous cycle. But if you're fed up, you're ready to actually align with high value women that bring you intrinsic value, then I want you to click the link in the bio. There is more out here than what you're seeing, gentlemen. Don't be fooled because you're dealing with mid women in markets where they think they're higher levels. You can actually position yourself to get higher quality women in your market, or if you want to, you can also position yourself in other parts of the world and find higher quality women. Trust fund baddies only. This is the way, gentlemen.
Like I said, man, a lot of these men have stopped trying to fit into the boxes that a lot of these modern women are trying to put them in. They've stopped trying to fit into the mold. They stopped trying to be cookie cutter. You know, there's some things that are common between men, but then, you know, women are like, well, why don't you do this? Because I do it. How about you go here? Because that's where I go. How about you do this? Because that's what I would do. That's what I would want my man to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not your puppet. I'm not your robot. I don't do the stuff you want me to do because you want me to do it. Now, I don't mind taking care of you and listening to your concerns, but you got with me because you liked the direction that I was going in. You liked the vision. And in order to keep with that vision, I got to kind of keep on doing what I'm doing or find different ways to get there. And to get there, I'm also going to need your help and your cooperation.